Alright, so new Merlin Festival was revealed today. I mean, we kind of already knew a Festival of a Sin was about to come out. We didn't know if it was going to be like Asken or Merlin, but this is the new Merlin. She looks pretty good. This is her ultimate attack. I quite like that shot. It's 100% going to be the thumbnail of this video. Her doing the... It's pretty good. So, what does she do? Let's move on here to her. Now, before I talk about what she does, she has, I think, the best stats in the game. You could correct me, but I think overall these are the best stats in the game. Offensively and defensively, these stats are absolutely insane. The crit defense and crit resistance combo right there, and the crit chance plus crit damage, the pierce, everything, just the stats are insane, right? What does she do exactly? Let's, I'm gonna skip around, so I'm gonna go to the gameplay, the PvP gameplay, and because it will be easier to explain, because goddamn, she does so much. They did the PvP gameplay. Chat, are you ready for this? So, what is this on the ground? At the beginning of the match, and thank you for Kane for the translation of what she does. At the start of ally's turn, applies a random element. Element is the name of the new skill on the enemy that doesn't already have element. And for every element applied to the enemies, increases all of her stats by 7%. So element is this. You can barely see, I'm sorry, because the quality of their video is so bad. But it's the gray buff here. And every single time an ally uses a skill, you apply a debuff, a red debuff on them that is the same as this element. Now, again, increases stats by 7% of Merlin for each one of those red debuffs. Also, okay, this is what I said. When our ally attacks an enemy that has element, before the damage is dealt, applies element effect for 3 turns. So you gotta act kinda quick. When the enemy has 4 stacks of element, after using a card, erases all element. I put also because I think that's the real name, the correct name. You just kind of translate. And apply the debuff of that element for 1 turn. What does that mean exactly? Well, you can see here that these 3 boys have different colors of the thing on the bottom of their feet here. I guess this is should like make it easier to distinguish. The red one is Ignite, I'm guessing, because it's red. But, so, you can see here. I'm gonna take off my camera. Rockfall is one of them, is Stun. Ignite is extra damage based on 50% max HP of the enemy. Perfusion is attack disable. Gale is decreases crit chance by 100%. And every single time, whenever, you know, when you start a match, it's random what you're gonna be getting on that enemy. So when you apply those 4 debuffs, it's random. You don't exactly know what you're going to be applying. In this case, on this match, it's this is the attack seal one, and I think this is the ignite one. So these 2 characters are going to be attack sealed once you use 4 skills. And it's so confusing. Her passive is incredibly confusing, but we'll see how it works. There is element for each debuffs, and if you apply 4 element, the enemy then applies the element. So when you apply those 4 debuffs, then that applies, and I don't know. Yeah, it's for 1 turn. So it's going to be attack sealed for 1 turn, stun for 1 turn, whatever. I don't know exactly how good this will be in practice. In practice, it might be a little inconsistent, because, you know, if you can stun the enemies or attack with the enemies, it's very good. But if you don't really care for the part where it's like decreases crit chance by 100%, I don't know. Her skills are the same skill as Halloween Galfram, so the take off ultimate gauge in the following turn. Another green character with that AoE. They're both AoEs, by the way. And then her second skill is a new type of skill, AoE, and for every one of those elements applied to the enemy, 40% extra damage. So when you do 2 attacks first with your allies and then do like an AoE for her, even level 1 is going to do a lot of damage, because you're going to be having, you know, 3 elements on those enemies, so it's like extra 120% damage. It's basically Estarossa, yes, it's basically Estarossa with darkness, but AoE. But Estarossa is different, because Estarossa has encroachment. When Estarossa procs the encroachment, That character is over. He's done with. Here, instead of being encroached, they just get either stunned, attack sealed. We'll see how that works in practice. It looks pretty strong though. And then the ultimate is she applies 4 of the not darkness. It's basically darkness. 4 of the elements on each of the enemies, and then does the damage. And for each of the element, she does extra 40% damage as well, because she also has element increased damage. Whew, that's a long explanation for what she does. Now, do I think she's good? Let's watch the gameplay here again. See how they perform here. I think she's gonna be very, very powerful. I don't blame you for being confused. It's so long. She does so much, but you can see here, right? The debuff is applied before. Oh, sure. Okay, the taunt does not. It has to actually do damage. It should be attack skill. Okay, so you can see the debuff goes on before the attack skill, and that means that AoE characters have a big advantage. So like Echidna is going to be working really good with Merlin. Unfortunately, they're both green, but she does that. And then of course Liz as well. Before the attack even goes off, she applies a darkness. Not darkness. Element. Okay. I think the ultimate applies every single effect when she ults, I think. Because that's what happened when she ulted on the gameplay. We'll see it again. We'll see it again once we get to the ultimate part. So I don't know if you were paying attention to the attack animations if you're watching the video. But the attack animations look sick. We're going to go back and watch the level 3s as well. Just for the sake of showing the animations. But the animations themselves look sick. The debuff does like a tornado thing. And then the red attack does like a full-on like elements type thing. You see like here, Astaros and Melly were predetermined from the beginning of the match that they were going to be attack sealed, and then Zeldris was the ignite one. So now Astaros and Melly are attack sealed. I think she's going to work incredibly well against the best team in the game, which is Demons. I am uncertain though how good she's gonna work against Red Brynhilder. Red Brynhilder can only be debuffed once, meaning you can never, ever apply her passive to Red Brynhilder. Ever. She cannot be debuffed more than once, and she needs to be applied 4 debuffs once. Sorry, all at once, right? 4 debuffs all at once. That's a great counter against this Merlin because of that. Yeah, I think it's gonna... They disconnected the iPad by accident. Just right as they were doing the Demon's attacks, but okay. They're gonna showcase the ultimate in a second as well. Oh yeah, this is the... They didn't showcase the ultimate there because they messed up. Let's go to the ultimate because actually I'm interested here on how the debuffs apply. Okay. It's so low quality. So low quality. Okay, you can see here, right? She applies, I think, every single kind of debuff. So the stun, the attack seal, the increased damage, and the thing. I'm going to assume that's ult level based. So she only does that 6/6. And like at 1/6, she applies 1 at random. That's what I'm going to assume. Yeah, the crit chance lower. And then she wiped. That's going to be an ult wipe every single time. If she applies 50% extra damage to the enemies, that's going to be an ult wipe every single time. Then the enemy tries to make a comeback with Demon Chandler, which is, as we know, the best unit in the game. For the ones... this video is only about Merlin, but for the ones who are going to be asking who's going to be in the banner, Oh, Korea did not show, actually. Let me pull up JP. They didn't show the actual banner. Oh, JP is still live. Okay. They're probably just doing nothing, I'm gonna assume. Yeah, they're doing nothing. Okay, lovely. Oh yeah, rewards. I'm gonna be talking about the other video, but there's 150 gems login bonus. And gems from like other stuff as well. The banner didn't show exactly who's in, but some of the people that are gonna be in is gonna be Jormungandr, Freyr, Red Tarmiel, Green Saurio, and we know Festival DN. We don't know about the other festivals though. We will know once they post the patch notes, which should be after JP goes offline. And then they also showed, of course, I think it was in the beginning of the stream, 2 new relics. Jormungandr's relic. Jormungandr's relic makes Deer a red demon, that level of difficulty, because when you apply her passive, so every single time you attack 3 times, all cards in your hand get ranked up. So essentially, the Deer becomes red demon. And then Kusok also got a relic for 80% crit damage. It's probably going to be decent. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to be showcasing the relic as soon as I get my hands on it. I don't like that Yorm actually has Deer material to make her relic because she's unknown. And the only reason for that is because that implies that Tonar's relic will be dog material. But we don't know. We don't know. It's an interesting precedent. It is Deer material though. Kozak, of course, is dog material because it's a demon. And I mean, there's other news as well, but that will I'll be mentioning on the patch notes video. On the JP stream here, they showed how crazy the Merlin stats can get. So they applied like the debuffs and stuff. This is turn 1 stats. Yeah, this one is turn 1 stats. 128 pierce, basically 100% resistance, 110% recovery, 130% crit chance, 227% crit damage, 145 crit resistance, 150 crit defense, 170. I forgot the name of this skill. Maybe this is recovery and this other one's the other thing. Then 43% lifesteal. Her stats can get incredibly powerful with that 7% stat stacking. Just wrap up the video and I'll show her how her skills look like a level 3 and stuff. Let me know what you think of this Merlin. I've been seeing people saying that she is that she looks mid. I think she looks incredibly powerful. I don't think she is going to be game breaking or anything. She is definitely a character that's like PvP only. And if you already have your PvP team done, like if you've been, you know, you're set with Reinhardt as your PvP team, or you're set with Demon as your PvP team, might be still worth skipping her for the end of year festivals. Because they're trying, I'm telling you, this is bait for end of year. Because this banner looks crazy with, you know, DN, you know, what's it called? Damn it. Freyr, Red Tarmiel, stuff like that. The banner is definitely bait for end of year because they know that we know that end of year is gonna be the craziest shit. You know, this is not even like we were expecting like Escanor and stuff. Like end of year could be Escanor, November could be Escanor. You know what I mean? Could be the purple alpha Escanor that goes into the 1 or something like that. So, and that, you know, also Freya could be the next banner, literally next banner, because they're gonna release Ragnarok again soon. And it could be a character that's made for dogs again, because dogs are still pretty troublesome. So this is definitely a PvP only character. I don't see using her anywhere else other than PvP, because she applies red debuffs. Even Estarossa, which got cocked by, you know, his passive not working in dogs, at least he can stack darkness on like bird and stuff. I'm assuming she can stack the debuffs on bird, but we don't know because most of these bosses are like debuff immune. You know what I mean? They're like completely debuff immune. So there are, okay, for some phases bird and stuff is not completely debuff immune, but like the last phase it is. So we'll see. AoE farming, her multipliers are pretty low, but If she hits about as hard as Akina, could be good. So yeah, we'll see how she goes. And when the patch notes come out, we'll talk about the rest of the info.